Scrapbookers, this is Megan, and I am back today with another 6x6 fix where Caitlin and I use up our 6x6 paper pads. So there you will have seen the 6x6 paper pads that I'm using, and now I'm going to take those 6x6 paper pads and pick out 8 patterns that I really love. I'm going to put them on my silhouette mat, and then I decided to bring you onto my screen, and here I am going to show you my process of using Silhouette Studio. So what I do when I have a certain shape in mind is I go into my library, sorry about that, and I search for, in this instance, hexagons. I have so many different shapes. I figured I would have a hexagon. So I deleted the other 2 shapes that I didn't need that had a pattern on the inside. And then there were these 2 that was supposed to be a frame. And I just did a release path on it. And that made it so that I could use the 2 different sizes. So I sized them down to what I wanted to cut them out to be. The smaller one is about 1.02, I think, and the bigger one is 1.6. So just a little bit over 1.5 and 1. Then I'm going to place them on my paper here, and each of these is going to fit onto a 6x6 paper pad. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of placing them around and filling in the 6x6 size. And then once I get that all done, I just copy and paste. So this is what my finished Studio Cut file looked like. So now I'm just going to send it to my Silhouette to cut. And I totally forgot to show you guys what it looked like on my Silhouette mat, so I apologize about that. I'll try to be better about doing that next time if I ever do this again. But I thought I would just kind of show you a different view of my scrapbooking because you don't oftentimes get to see this part of it. So that's basically what I did. After I cut them all out, I pulled all of these little shapes off of my Silhouette mat, and then I put them out on my desk. So here you will see I have all of my shapes cut out, and I go into my stash and I pull out this really pretty light blue piece of textured paper. I want to say it's basil, but honestly I don't know. And of course I don't have the layout right here with me because why would I have that? Okay, so I'm not going to make you watch me do all of this, but here you can get the basic idea. I'm just laying each of these patterns down and playing around with the placement of them and just having fun with it. So that's all I do for seriously an hour. I think when I pulled this video footage into my software, it was like an hour and 50 minutes. Yep. So I'm going to play around with this and then I'll come back and show you towards the end of it. Okay, so here we are. I have all of my shapes placed down. And I don't know if you can tell, but some of them I even have the smaller shape on top of the bigger one. So I don't know if you can see that or if it's not apparent to you, but I have stacked a couple of them, and it's not every single one. It's not every other one. It's just random. So now here what I'm doing is I'm gluing all of these down. And again, this is going to take forever, so I'm not going to make you watch all of this, but I did kind of want you to see the in-between phase. And as I am gluing everything down, layouts like this take forever, but in the end, I absolutely love it. So I'm going to put you on Well, no, I'm not going to put you on fast forward. You're already on fast forward. I'm going to cut the rest of this out, I guess is what I should have said. Oh, I almost forgot. I did want to mention, and here you can see, I did bring in my tiny attacher, tiny stapler, tiny attacher, I think is what it's called. And I am stapling a few of these hexagons that have layers. Some of them don't have layers and I staple on them, but I just thought it was kind of a fun little added dimension to the layout. So you'll see in the close-ups at the end of the layout, I'll try to take a ton of close-ups of like the stapled versions and stuff. But I just had a lot of fun layering and just adding dimension to this layout. Okay, now you can see here, I'm getting towards the end of gluing down layers, and I put my photo down to kind of see where I was at, and then I am going to bring over my sewing machine. Now, again, I'm not going to include all of this because I didn't get the best view of this, and I'm okay with that. I didn't really want to show you guys this part. I just wanted you to know I added some stitching, and I'm super excited with how it turned out. I really, really love it. Here I am towards the end of my stitching. You can kind of see how cumbersome it is to stitch on a 12 by 12 layout and get kind of the gist of it. I always use my quilting foot when I do stitching on a layout. I feel like it's a lot sturdier to use a quilting foot. And if you don't know anything about sewing, it's just a bigger, what do you call it, foot that you can feed your paper through and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not really a seamstress anymore. I used to know all the sewing lingo, but now I don't. I'm a scrapbooker, so I kind of know what I'm talking about. Okay, now that I'm no longer on here, I think you can guess that I am pulling all of the extra thread through the back of the layout. And now here I am ready to get down to business. I'm so excited and just cannot wait to get going on this layout. And this one, actually, it started out as a challenge from my friend Christy, who is Christy's Beautiful Life. She did a challenge in February for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club to, I think it was something about traveling. And I don't really remember the challenge too much. I just remember I picked these photos and then never did anything with them. And I don't really have anything traveling themed on this layout at all. So I don't know that they work, or this layout works for her challenge anymore, but I was inspired by her challenge to use these photos. So that's what I'm going with. Anyway, I am using one of these, or two of the papers from the 6x6 paper pad. I think it was the Anything Goes 6x6 paper pad, which is an Echo Park collection. So I'm just gluing that paper together, and then I'm gluing the two photos on there. So I have the 4x5 photo of Hannah and I in front of all the flight information when she was going home. So this was after her trip and we were saying goodbye. And then I also have a photo of just the flight information, and then a photo of Hannah walking through all of the red tape, which isn't really red tape, but you know what I mean. Now, this is where I'm deciding I'm going to do my journaling on this little hexagon 3x4 cut apart. And I did have my parking ticket saved for the airport. And so I decided I was going to add that as part of real life memorabilia or ephemera, whatever you want to call it. Then I had this Better Together little cut apart from Amy Tan, and so I cut out the Better Together part. I'm going to add a few stickers on this layout. I don't have it in front of me, but this one, I think it says all the feels, and then that one says happy heart or something like that up there. I'm sorry, I don't have the layout in front of me, and honestly, I'm too lazy to get up. I've been working all day today, and it was a crazy day at work. So I add 2 phrase stickers to each of the clusters, and I thought about adding one to the parking ticket there, but in the end I decided not to. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some washi tape, and then I'm going to do it as kind of like a little flip up. So then I can do my journaling on the card. So I add, I think it says details to that card. And then I'm going to write on the card, I don't remember. Again, I'm too lazy to get up and get the layout. I really should think about these things before I sit down. So I apologize if that bothers you. Please let me know and I'll try to be better. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the embellishing, and I keep it super, super simple. So I'm gonna glue down this Better Together, and then I was thinking about using some of these smaller hexagons as layers behind that, but it just didn't look right. So I'm gonna go a different route. I'm going to pull out some wood veneer from my March kit from the Scrapbooking store, Kit Club. And I'm going to use those wood veneer pieces. And then also from my stash, I'm going to pull out this Nouveau, oh, what is it called? Pearl or something like that. I don't know. I'm not a huge Nouveau user. And yeah, so I add a few of those like dots. I just kind of make them into my own enamel dot shaped circle thingies. I don't know what you call them. But then I'm going to start gluing everything down, and that is almost it for this layout. I am going to add a title. I think I add it off camera though, because I couldn't decide on what alpha I wanted to use, or actually in all reality, I think what happened is I totally forgot to do a title. So I didn't record myself doing the title, but yeah, I did get it done. So you'll see those in the photos. So here I'm just gluing down all of these wood veneers, and that is it. Make sure you head on over to Caitlin's channel. I will have a link below to her specific video for this week. I hope that you'll check her out and make sure that you like and subscribe, both of us. We would really love to have you here and to join us every other week. We post on the 2nd and the 4th. Right? No, the 1st. I don't even know what today is. Don't listen to me. Let's see. We post on the 2nd and the 4th Tuesday of the month. See, I was right. You got to stick with your gut. Anyway, it's been a long day. I hope that you have time to scrapbook and enjoy some time in your crafty space to let off some steam. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.